All right, I just watched a video on sick time. Yeah, I know. I stopped smoking for a week, actually 2 weeks. I'm gonna smoke this pack and then I'm gonna stop again because I don't. Whatever. I just watched a video on. It was some. Uh, America has this name, and even though there's North America, South America, blah blah blah. Um, and it was an okay video. Um, you know, about naming conventions and everything. Um, but it just got me thinking again. Um, after this whole Trump thing is done with, and I'm hoping this this whole crap with Trump will finally will kind of finally tire the broader American public. um, the United Station public on basically the last 40 years of bullcrap um, from the far right. And most of the people that have been voting for the Republicans, most of them will kind of wake up and be like, oh, that's right. You know, we are basically liberals. I mean, we may not really agree on some of that culture stuff necessarily, but in our heart of hearts, we kind of are liberals. I mean, you know, we're religious and everything, and we realize that some of you classical liberals aren't religious, but we're willing to kind of just, stay in our separate holes. You can be not religious and we can be religious, but we agree on the things that we agree on. And why can't we just be two different versions of lefties, for the most part? And maybe why don't we do this? Why don't we have more than two political parties? Why don't we have like four? You know, I think we should. I think we should have like four or five or maybe six when it comes, especially when it comes to Senate and the House. That would be the best way to go because the English, the British, have more than two political parties. Most um, most representative systems and places have more than two political parties, and it kind of makes things work better. When you have more than two political parties, um, when you have that going on, and also once we have kind of an agreement to get these radical right wing kind of ideologues out that kind of get everyone riled up basically on what are admittedly BS issues all the time. Because I also just saw a video about Mamdani balancing New York City's budget, and it's just like, Yeah, that's what a not just a democratic socialist whatever can do, but somebody who gets into office and is not um, I'm at a loss for the words. Just not all. I can't think of the phrase. Bogged down. That's what I was looking for. That's the words I was looking for. Not just bogged down by all the bullcrap of trying to please basically donors and stuff like that. But they're actually just trying to fix stuff. They're trying to essentially make government work for the broad majority of the citizenry instead of make satisfy the most narrow and what is essentially usually the richest segments of population now. And also another thing that I saw, Gary from Gary's Economics said it best. He said, it's what I've been saying too, essentially, you know, but he nailed down the words very well. As he said, yes, human history has been an exercise in, well, this is the way I say it. For the past 6,000 years, we've been slaves. Yeah, ever since agriculture started, we've been slaves. And only since after World War II, we we collectively, pretty much the whole of humanity, managed to stop that. I mean, we arrested completely that worldwide system of, as Gary put it, having 10 people in the West and basically, you know, 5 or 6 people in the East own everything and everybody else being pretty much in abject poverty. We wiped that system away. And for, let's say, 1945, for 30 to 40 years, we had a maybe not equal system, equal society, but much, much more equal society across a lot of the world. Not the entire world, but a lot of the world. And that's why you saw all this progress going on. Not just technological or economic progress, but social progress too. And I think the reason that we saw the backpedaling of all that is because of you saw so much social progress and social equalization that started to scare a certain segment, scare the bejesus, no, Jesus, out of a certain segment so much. And they wanted to get power back, and they got power back. And the only problem with that is now that they have power back, the world's going to crap again. And now that they got power back and the world's going to crap again, everybody's like, oh, everybody's running around with like a chicken with their head cut off going, why is the world going to crap again? And now the other people, the left, is saying, see, the world's going to crap again because it's turning into it's reverting back to, feudal monarchical dictator garbage world crap like before. Like before when, I mean, everything that was before. We have the records. And so, I mean, we don't have video and audio recordings of the years 1700 AD through 4000 BC. There's no video and audio of that, but we have, other methods of recorded history. So we know generally that it was crap compared to now. So the people that have more and more of the wealth, billionaires and multi-millionaires, those are basically the kings and monarchs. They don't have overt political power yet, but they are getting closer and closer to having overt political power. Divine right. Look up what divine right is. And Trump, I think, is very much very much liking the idea of divine right and birthright lineage and trying to establish that kind of thing. He wants to be a dictator so that he can make it so that his family, he establishes his family as, the monarchy, the de facto lineage for America, essentially. Because he doesn't want Vance to be leader. He wants one of his kids to be the leader. I don't know who, honestly, because, I mean, I'm not enthralled with any of his kids. You know how I know that? Because I don't even know any of his kids. Eric is one of them. Barron is one of them. I mean, I barely know what any of them look like. So, whatever. And if I'm not impressed by him, then I can tell you this: nobody's impressed by him because I don't give a crap. And if one of them tries to rule, I think there's well, there's going to be fisticuffs. So, and I can tell you this: there's going to be, it's not going to end bad. It's not going to end good. On that, because there's a kind of a weirdly, I don't know, embedded kind of, oh yeah, you think, you can do this to me? How about fuck you? And Americans, I don't know, just test it, I mean, you think liberals are pansies and stuff, but, just keep poking. So, you'll find out. And it's Yeah. And you know how they say, another thing, you know how they say, uh, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned? Well, I'd say hell hath no fury like a conservative that you kind of lied and fucked over. Because Trump did kind of screw over his base. He said all these great things to him and riled him up, and then he has delivered on nothing. He's not even really delivered on the immigration thing, not very well at least. You know, not even to his hardcore like get all these brown people out and bring back whitey America. It's not even really doing that very well. So it's like you're not even really doing anything for anyone except for like those 10 really rich people. And so the only hope he has really is if one of those rich people can build an army of um, androids by the next 2 or 3 years and Terminator style everyone in America, which I don't know. I don't see that happening in 2 years. It's just like technology is just not far along. It's just not. I mean, we don't have like 10 of those robots yet, let alone like 10 million. So, and even 10 million of them wouldn't be enough to. I mean, they just wouldn't be. The numbers aren't there yet. So, it's just. And like I said in other videos, once you start killing beautiful white teenagers, you're gonna have big problems on your hands because everybody in the country has guns, basically. It's not just white crazy gun nuts. It's black people have guns, Mexicans have guns, grannies have guns. Everybody has guns, and the people that don't have guns know people that have guns, so they're gonna be. I mean, like everybody. There's gun shops everywhere, so I mean. And all of this is just a big problem for them that they're. Anyways, I'm going all over the place with this, but just I don't even know what I was getting into with this. I'm wondering what the midterms are going to look like. I mean, because they have to have some semblance of some election. It's too close. It's less than 5 months away, so they have to have some kind of something. Right? You gotta have something. And there's a lot of, from what I understand, there's a lot of um, Democrats on the ballot that are not um, traditional, if you want to call it that, Democrats on the ballots all over the place. So the Democrats that are going to win Senate and House seats on the national level, there's going to be a lot of them that are going to be like lefty Democrats. Probably enough that it's going to push the Democratic Party left. And even if there are some Republicans that win, those Republicans are probably going to be non-MAGA. They're probably going to be a little lefty, and they're going to have to be a little responsive to their electorate. Because I'm guessing nobody's liking. I'm guessing nobody's liking Trump. I mean, I've seen even here some people that are. I mean, nobody's wearing a MAGA hat anymore. When I first came to Trinity, there were people wearing MAGA hats. Nobody's wearing a MAGA hat anymore. So at the very least, nobody is willing to peacock for Trump in the open. They may be still unwilling to jump the fence to the Democratic side, but they're waiting for a Republican candidate that will kind of just be a little easy and everything like that. In the more, they want a kind of return to the more sensible side of Republicanism. Are you going to take care of? Are you going to take care of me? Are you going to do what's right for me? Are you going to get out of the Middle East? Kind of Republicans, the Republicans of, sensible crap. And by the way, what happens, and a little foreshadowing here, what happens when there's even one hurricane that hits somewhere and Trump doesn't have any money for FEMA or doesn't give a crap about sending, help. I mean, because hurricanes don't tend to hit blue states. They tend to hit areas that would vote Republican. And Trump is going to be responsible for, that. And and he's going to be responsible for the National Guard. And the National Guard is responsible for, disaster relief and stuff. And the National Guard is already called up, doing bull crap for, suppressing blah with immigrants and helping ICE and everything. And then a hurricane hits and they can't go down to North Carolina or Texas, where because the Texas National Guard is up in LA or Minnesota or wherever. And it's not Rick Scott, but they call him Wheels. What is the Texas governor going to do? Is the Texas governor going to go on TV and be like, well, our National Guard is needed up in Minnesota? Oh, man. Are you going to get voted out? Seriously. Are you going to be like, well, we have power outages and Houston is underwater, and I don't even know what the smaller cities, Cristo, what is that called? That other pretty big city down there, the one that's in the water shortage. Uh, I can't think of the name. We got that city, Houston. I don't know, but a whole bunch of cities underwater, and it's just like, oh, we can't do it because they're needed up there. Really? Seriously? The main thing that the National Guard is used for, and you're up there beating people's heads in? That's what they're needed for? Really? Yeah. Well, I just hope that the hurricane can't get too bad up where I'm in, because I'm in like the middle of Texas. So, um, I mean, it'll definitely hit, but like I'm hoping that it doesn't hit like too bad. So, I don't know. I'm just hoping that, as far as hurricanes go, we don't have like four pretty big hurricanes hitting like within a month and a half, and the country doesn't just get like totally battered to all crap. Because last year we didn't have any. And if the world is like, okay, so you didn't have any last year, so you're kind of backed up, so we need to hit you with like six this year, and three of them are going to be really bad. So buckle up and pucker up your butthole. Because if they do, guess what? I'm betting California and New York are probably going to be like, what do you mean? You dicks. Like, you need some help, don't you? Yeah, I thought you did. And Trump's going to be sitting there. Well, we need to bomb Iran some more because, it's still going on. And, like, yeah. Maybe you should have bombed the hurricane. That's going to do a lot. And with his, we should nuke a hurricane. Yeah, because all that's going to do is spread nuclear waste, I don't know, throughout at least one of the hemispheres, maybe the entire world. That will be fun. We already have plastic all over the world. Maybe a little bit of, plutonium for everybody to have in their water supply. Uranium-235. They can all be mutants. And not the good kind of mutant. So, anyways. It's another me ranting. I'm going to go check my game. See if I collected all by all my stone and stuff yet. So tax the rich, kneecap the rich, tax wealth not work, Gary, and boobs, lots of boobs.